Hi, welcome back. This is the second part for the RAC 12C database installation on VMware Workstation 16 Pro. So let's head to the remote desktop and continue our operation what we was doing. So I will open the VMware Workstation and see what is the status. Okay, it has completed the installation. Now we need to reboot the servers in order to do the post configuration. Let's reboot the both servers. Alright, the machine has booted now, so let's accept the license term. And the network host name will configure it. Let's head back to the second node and accept the terms. Finish the configuration. Right, I'm going to log in as a root user. Click next. See off. Skip. Start using. So I'm going to do the same on the node 2 as well. Right, so let me get the IP address. What is the IP address I configured on this node, on the primary node? If I'm going to do if config, it's going to give me the IP address. Let's see if I can ping to my virtual machine host from my host machine. CMD ping 192.168.17.50. I can. If I can ping, then I should be able to connect Putty, and I don't think I have Putty. So I need to get that application. Okay, that is done. So we need to add the storage mount point. So go to the setting for the VMware, add. We need to add the disk. So I'm going to connect with this SCSI and create a new virtual disk. And here I'm going to give a 110 and leave it to the default configuration. I'm going to store this configuration file on the folder. If you remember, we have created this during our installation. So it is the primary one. So primary one should go to prod db1 underscore u01. Okay, now let's go to the node 2 and do the same for the node 2 as well. Setting, add hard disk, same, create virtual disk, 110 GB, split virtual disk into multiple files. That is fine. Browse the same folder for the node 2, save it, finish, close. Okay, now let's go and see if recently added one is showing or not. It's not showing up, so we might need to reboot the machine in order to show. Boot. Right, so both the virtual machines have restarted. So let me log in again and verify whether the disk is showing or not. The reason why I'm logging to root is because the root is the super user in the Linux and Unix operating system, which can give or take the permission from any user, add the hard disk and remove mount points. It's a bit slow. Let me download the Putty. Alright, now let's do disk-l. You can see now the disk is showing, so we need to format and create a storage for our Oracle Linux binaries. So what I'm going to do is fdisk. Okay, I forgot the name. I forgot to record the name. Let me copy this. Fdisk is content new primary default default default. Right, so it is done. So let's see again. Should be created here. STB1, right? So after that, we need to execute one command to update the kernel /pro /save stp1. That's it. So let's perform the same on the node 2 as well. we okay fdisk hyphen error. It will list the mount points. HDB. Here you can see the HDB which we recently added around 110 GB. Fdisk slash if HDB. There is a mistake in the command. New primary default 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 right. Okay, it's okay, it's not a problem. Part pro dev HDB. Now let's create a directory under root. Let's go to root and see if there is any mount point with the u01. There is no mount point with the name of u01. I'm going to create the directory mkdir slash u01. Okay, then we need to format this with the ext3 mkfs-t ext3 dev hdb1. Okay, it's going to format that mount point. It's done very well. Now after that, let's see what is the content of abtfs tab. Okay, let's modify this file etcfs tab and add our recently formatted u01 dev hdb1 slash u01 and ext3 defaults 1 3. Now if I see df-h, it's not showing. I think we need to do a reboot here. It should show after the reboot. Let's do the remaining steps from the primary node. cd slash ls-mtra is the content. There is no u01 1 point, so let's create it directory mkdir slash u01 and let's format this with mkfs hyphen l ext3 dev hdb. There is no such file. Mail is saying no such file or directory while trying to open ext3. I did the mistake. There's a typing mistake. ext in mkfs-t. Started now. There was a command mistake. Alright, it is done. So let's add this detail into fstab file. Vi fstab, go to the last line, press O for the next line with edit permission, dev hdb1 and u01 tab ext3 tab defaults tab 1 default 3. Save and exit, reboot the machine. By now it has started, so let's log in. Right now on the node 2, root the root password. Let's see the status of the partition which we recently added, df-h. Now you can see the mount point is showing under SDB1 and the available space is around 103 GB. Some sectors has been used. I think that is normal. Right. So it is done. What is the host name? So local domain. Let's verify on the primary node as well. So this partition which we just created, it is for the Oracle Linux binary, Oracle database binary files and the grid files. We can install the binaries on this location under respective each user with the permissions rights. Then we will configure a SAN storage on the open filer. Let's log in now on the primary node. And we should see the mount point already added, like we saw on the node 2. If there is an issue, then we have to troubleshoot it. df-h. Okay, here we have some issue on the node 2, node 1. Test-L got created. So what did we miss? Let's definitely array 01 is there. Cat etc tab. On the fs tab file, did some mistake here. So if you can see, there is a forward slash missing. So like this, you have to troubleshoot and verify what is the issue. So again, we have to reboot the server. So meanwhile, we can do the installation for the Putty. So let me open the Putty terminal now. So let's see if we can connect to the secondary node 51, accept, root, welcome one. I will change the settings. Colors is default, and appearance, change the character format to 14 size. Apply. Same way we can establish the communication from the node 2 as well. Node 1. We just configured for the node 2. Let me log in. So in this part, we have seen how to add the additional storage and mount the partition on the Linux server. Same procedure you can follow on the Ubuntu and Unix and Linux flavors. Let's do df now. Now you can see the same mount point is available. Okay, that concludes our this session. So in next part, we are going to see how we are going to configure the host files and some pre-configuration, post configurations. Then we will proceed with the yum server. Once the RPMs are configured, installed, then we will start unzipping the Oracle database binaries and the grid infrastructure binaries. That's all in this session.